What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This week I took 3 trades using my price action and SMC strategy. Out of those 3 trades, 2 closed in a loss and 1 trade closed in profit. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I saw in the market, what went wrong, and what I'm going to improve going into the next week. And so, let's start with the first trade. The first trade was taken on GBP JPY on the 4-hour time frame. This was my first trade on GBP JPY. As you can see over here, price was moving in an uptrend direction, and there was liquidity that was formed where price wicked through the liquidity and moved back into structure. There was a slight break which I missed, and I believe this is why I lost the trade, because there was a slight break above these highs over here and this previous high there. But what I saw at the time was liquidity being swept by this wick, and my main focus was this break of structure happening here when, well, it was a change of character when price broke these lows. That is how I mapped it out, as a change of character, and price left this fair value gap behind, and the second one over here and as price progressed to pull back, I saw my setup being formed. We had a break of structure over here, this high. I didn't map it out. Not the best break because it only left a wick. This is part of why I lost the trade, I believe. And price started to pull back, going into a point of interest where our entry was. I had set a sell limit order, and the stop loss was set up here just above these highs. What I failed to notice again was that this high and this high actually left liquidity above here, and that is exactly where price was pulled to. As you can see, I got triggered into the trade, went straight into drawdown until price hit my stop loss, and it was going up to that liquidity, and that is how I lost this first trade. So going into next week, I would always have to bear in mind that be cautious of what you consider a change of character, a break of structure, and always be wary if there is liquidity that is not tapped above previous highs. And so we will be moving on to the next trade, which is on AUD USD. This trade was taken on the 1-hour time frame, the 2 hours, I think the 2-hour time frame. This trade also resulted in a loss, and I'm going to go through what I saw in the market at the time. So price had given us this impulsive move to the upside, and you can see this liquidity over here, but this was on a smaller time frame where liquidity was swept and price impulsively moved to the downside. I identified this next area as my change of character on a smaller time frame, when price broke down, pulled back, and gave me a break of structure over here. After the break of structure, price left back an imbalance, which is this fair value gap on this impulsive candle. And so after that, my trade setup was ready. I put my sell limit to my point of interest next to this fair value gap, My stop loss just above this high, well, it was on this high, and my take profit to the low. Price pulled back, whipped me into the trade, kept playing around break even for some time, went into slight profit, about a 1:1 risk to reward, and I intend to hold my trades until the trade closes. Either it closes in profit or in a loss, and I do not take break-even trades. And so price pulled back until it stopped me out over here, and that is how that trade was lost. If you see this BOS for the break of structure, don't get confused. This is when price broke to the up to this is when price broke these lows, and a new setup is being formed. This will be a setup that I will be taking in the next week. And so let's move to the next trade, which is USD CAD. And this is USD CAD. I am going to break down what I saw in the markets at the time. So here is price moving to the upside, and there was liquidity up here created by these two highs. Price wicked up above to purge this liquidity and immediately moved to the downside. As price moved lower, I identified this first break on a smaller time frame as my change of character, and this second break here was my break of structure on a smaller time frame. And price also left a fair value gap here where imbalance had formed, and after those confluences showed up, I immediately put in my sell limit order at my point of interest, and stop loss was above this liquidated highs, and my take profit was set at this low. Price then moved up, pulling back into my point of interest, triggered my sell limit, and as you can see, moved to the downside until I closed in profit. This was one winner out of the 3 trades. I am very grateful that I'm able to trade consistently in every trade that I face, and even though I do make mistakes, excuse the noise, there's a plane. Yeah, there's a plane flying above me. Okay. As I was saying, I'm grateful that I'm able to trade consistently and have a consistent approach to the charts. Although at times I do face losses and make mistakes, I'm very happy that I can still wake up the next day and continue to trade without changing my strategy. And yeah, this is the end of today's video. And if you want to follow my journey as I grow a small trading account and document everything, the wins, the losses, and the lessons, make sure you subscribe and stay locked in. I'll be dropping weekly trade reviews like this, breaking down everything step by step, and I'll see you on the next one.